Thank you for joining us today in this webinar titled Customize Your Journey to a High Impact Career. In the next slide please. Some information you must know regarding the webinar today. The webinar will be around an hour. It will take around an hour of your time. Make sure that your speakers or your headsets are connected. The playback will be sent to you within 24 hours so you can watch in your own time again. Please note that you are muted during the session. Therefore, you will have to ask questions in the chat box that you can see. In the agenda today, the next slide, please. In the agenda today, you're going to meet the panelists. We will talk about the Global MBA and we'll share information about the program, information that you must know about the program. We will go through the applications and admissions process, and you will get a chance to ask your questions, and there'll be some information about how you can get in touch. Next slide, please. Right, my name is Valerie Mokrane. I am an alumna of the Global MBA program. I did the strategy and digital leadership track, and I now work for ESSEC as an international recruitment manager. With me are David, the academic director, Swan, an alumni of the program, Stefan, also an alumni of the program, and they will introduce themselves shortly.
Great. Well, thank you, Valerie, for that introduction. So as Valerie mentioned, my name is David Sluss. I'm the academic director for the Global MBA program. I'm a professor of leadership and organizational behavior here at ESSEC. I've been here for 2 years. Before that was at Georgia Tech in the US for over a decade as a tenured professor, and before that, University of South Carolina. Before that was a management training consultant and a partner in a consulting firm. And just excited and honored that you're here to talk with us and to learn about our Global MBA program. Yuswan?
Hello, everyone. So my name is Yushan Liu. I am the alumni of a Global MBA class of 2021, specialized in luxury brand management. And right now I'm the senior education project manager at Coty Luxury, specialized in the fragrance product. And I was working in the fragrance industry for around 10 years, from creation till today at the Coty. Happy to see you everyone today.
Stefan?
Hello, everyone. So my name is Stefan. So I am currently a senior consultant at Frog, part of Capgemini Invent, specialized in strategy and digital transformation. So very happy to join this webinar.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. So as Valerie mentioned, we're going to talk about ESSEC Business School, many of these things you might already know, but also talk about the Global MBA program. And so as we think about ESSEC Business School, as you see there, the rankings, it's a business school that's been around since 1907, has a deep history, French roots, global reach. We have 4 campuses in Cergy and Paris, La Défense, so 2 different campuses in the Paris area. The Global MBA 4-year is housed out of the Paris La Défense campus, which is the largest business district within Europe. And then also we have a Singapore campus, which I think Stefan was part of that program, and also Rabat in Morocco. We also have an augmented digital campus, which gives us global reach throughout the world. So as we think about the Global MBA program, maybe one way to think about it is via the numbers. So first and foremost, it is quick. We like to say intense but fun. 12 months. Our intake is every year in September. We have 3 topics or concentrations of choice: sustainability, digital leadership, innovation, entrepreneurship. We have 2 campuses. The main campus is at Paris La Défense, and then during our 3rd trimester of your year, you have the option to go and take your courses in Singapore and to receive another international experience during your MBA program. We'll talk more about this in a little bit, but we are redesigning the program and adding to what we're calling our career learning labs or certifications around luxury, finance, consulting, and product management. And an innovative approach to sort of bring practice into the program and to connect you directly with practitioners and with industry. We have 2 career and networking learning expeditions. Currently this year, we're going to London, and then depending on the focus of the student, going to either Berlin or to Milan. So for example, those career networking learning expeditions are based on the Career Learning Lab, whether it's luxury, finance, consulting, or product management. And then to continue this idea of customizing your journey in your career is you also have three career accelerator options. Either you're doing an internship where you're working directly with an organization, a global field project, you're working with a team of MBA students for a particular partner of the MBA program, or a venturing project. You might be starting your own company. So let's talk about that a little bit. The company that you're going to be with, meaning the individuals that you're with, the company that you keep. The ESSEC Global MBA, we have roughly 50 participants per year. The average age is 30 years old, with 6 years average experience. 90% are above international student body, 16 nationalities, 55% women. So you're coming to a very diverse and open and inclusive cohort of future friends and colleagues. So let's talk about what your experience would be like. So you come in September, and in a sense, you're going to customize this transformation journey. We're going to partner with you to help you, in a sense, figure it out. Figure out what you want to do with the rest of your life and how to build upon the past successes you've had in your career for your future. So as we come in, most of the time in T1, what we call in the fall and part of our winter, is in core courses and working in career labs. So you're exploring the different career labs and choosing which of the 4 career labs that you would like to dive into. Luxury and finance, those are career labs that last the whole year, where consulting and product management, consulting is in the fall, product management is in the spring, and therefore you can do those 2 together or do one or the other. Then as you move in, as we're moving through the fall, you're also choosing what concentration or electives you would like to focus in on. So you would choose from sustainability, digital leadership, or innovation entrepreneurship. You would choose a concentration. So what does that mean? Well, it means that you would choose 3 electives that you would take within one of those 3 topic areas, but then you would still be able to customize and choose additional electives across those 3 concentrations. So maybe you're coming in and really want to do sustainability, but you also like the twist of digital, how digital might help sustainability. So you don't have to choose one or the other. You're able to possibly concentrate in sustainability and then take additional electives within digital leadership and even innovation entrepreneurship. And then from there, as we finish our courses around May of the year, then you move into accelerating your career. So taking what we've done in the classroom and putting it into practice, whether it be an internship, which is, as we would know, traditionally an internship where you're working with a company directly, hired by them. Many of the internships turn into full-time offers and positions. Or for some of us that might be switching industries, learning something new, you might choose to do what's called a global field project, where you're working with a team of your colleagues in your cohort, working for a particular organization that has a particular problem. So in this case, it's treated as a course. You're working with this company and getting credit for that experience within the MBA program, and then getting great experience for then your job search after graduation and during that process. Then lastly, the venturing project. So this is for some of you that might be coming in with an idea already in mind for a new business, and you want to use the MBA to be able to launch that venturing project. Then we have a long history at ESSEC with entrepreneurship. ESSEC Ventures, we have a place at Station F, which is one of the largest incubators in the world in Paris. And through those different organizations, we can provide consulting and help around a venturing project, and you sort of launch your company. So I want to talk about the career learning labs a little bit. Apart from the standard, I think, as you see across this idea of core to electives and doing an internship or global field project or venturing project, I want to talk a little bit about the electives and talk about it as, let's take 3 people, for example. And what I want to highlight in this is be able to highlight the customizability and the personalization that each of you can take within the ESSEC MBA program. So let's take, for example, Jumana, who's from Lebanon. Her pre-MBA job is a digital marketing senior manager. She's worked in Beirut, Lebanon, and now she really wants to move across. She wants to make a couple different jumps. She wants to make a jump in region. She wants to move to Europe. She wants to make a jump in industry and move from digital marketing and another industry to luxury. And then she also wants to make a jump in position, right? Start moving up in her career. So she comes to ESSEC. Her first step is thinking through the concentrations. So she knows she wants to do luxury. We'll get to that in a second. But now, what about luxury does she want to focus in on? Many luxury companies are looking for folks that are steeped in digital. They bring innovative ideas with them to be able to provide a better marketing approach, a better brand image, and do that through digital. Many of us experience our whole experience with a company via digital. So she chooses digital disruption or digital leadership as her concentration. She takes the core courses there and also takes a mix of courses around digital fintech, digital marketing, managing artificial intelligence. In addition, she takes some things around sustainability, circular economy, and then also within entrepreneurship, growing your organization. But then during this process of taking the courses, she's also done a deep dive into the luxury industry with her career learning lab or certification. So what does that look like? So normally our classes are Monday through Thursday, and Fridays are meant for Talent Center and Career Learning Labs. So during that year, she will have taken workshops, executive workshops, on what it means to work in the luxury industry, the social cultural foundations of luxury, retail strategy within luxury industry, and then done our signature savoir-faire visits or know-how visits, where going to the particular large brands, L'Oreal, VMH, Coty, and others, right, to do visits and learn about what it's like to work in the luxury industry, have connections, professional connections. All of these career learning labs, whether it's luxury, finance, consulting, or product management, will be led by well-heeled professionals that are working with us, ESSEC, from the business community. Many of them, at this point, all of them are ESSEC alumni that have their own connections and their own Rolodex, if you will. And their job and their passion is to help you be able to learn about that industry role, whether it's luxury, finance, consulting, or product management, and provide experiences that advance your career. So Jumana, in this hypothetical, she goes through the luxury industry. She then finds an internship and then moves on from there. Where, for example, Sumant from India, who's a consultant, but is switching industries also, wanting to move into finance. Maybe did finance undergrad, but really wants to deepen and move into finance and sustainability. So chooses sustainability as a concentration, takes the finance career learning lab, similar workshops and savoir-faire visits within the finance industry. In addition to this, with the finance career learning lab, they are actually also required to take 3 electives that focus on finance that are across sustainability, digital leadership, and innovation. And then with Sumant choosing that moving industries and really wanting to get into the nitty-gritty of finance, chooses a global field project. We have Shirley at the last, senior technical solutions engineer coming from New York in the US. Here, very, very interested in innovation and wanting to take an idea that she's been incubating for many years into fruition, and focuses on innovation entrepreneurship, and then does a venturing project. But given that venturing and innovation takes a lot of consulting and also a lot of product management, focuses on those 2 career learning labs. So hopefully what we've done is giving you an overview of how customizable, how personalizable our MBA program is, that aligns with our strengths at ESSEC, which is sustainability, digital leadership, innovation entrepreneurship, in addition to our long-standing partnerships in industry or across luxury, across finance, across consulting, and product management. So with this, I'm going to sort of step off the soapbox, if you will, as they say, and we're going to talk with Yushan and Stefan about their experience with the MBA. So we're going to ask a couple questions, have a conversation here, and hopefully you can find some of your own story in their story. So let's start with this first question, and we'll start with you, Yushan, if that's okay. So why did you choose, first of all, why did you choose to do an MBA, first of all, and then why choose an ESSEC Global MBA?
Yes, so I had the idea of attending the business school at the end of my previous job because I wanted to transform my career from the backstage to the brand side. So it was always in my mind for a while, and by coincidentally, I moved to France in 2019, and so I was thinking, why not to take a short break from my last job and to go back to school. And I know I must join to a top-ranking business school to have the best practice and then to build my network in the beauty industry in France. So I did some
real quick,
research.
Yushan, just that maybe it might be interest to some of the folks listening. What were you doing before moving to France? What was your, and then what were you doing for that year or so in France before the MBA?
Yeah, so I was working as in a fragrance house. So the basic is to work with perfumer to create a perfume fragrance to answer clients' need. So actually the client, like we all know L'Oreal, Coty, all those fragrance beauty industry, the brand was our client. So I have the chance to see, how the big company corporate they work. And from my angle, I want to know more this part. So from from laboratory to go to the marketing. So that's the moment I think business school could help me to reach my goal, to do this transformation. And to move to France, it was due to the personal reason. So I moved to France and I was thinking to take a business school. And I did some research on LinkedIn. I want to know how all those top managers in France, what kind of school background they had. And then for very obviously from the top three, and ESSEC was one of it. So that's why I choose ESSEC, because ESSEC was very famous with the luxury industry. And my husband, actually, he was also ESSEC alumni. And he strongly recommended me to join ESSEC. And he was so proud that today is an ESSEC couple. And it's just a fun story beside of that. And why, sorry, what's after the second question?
What? No, that's it. Why choose an MBA and why choose a global MBA?
That's perfect. So yes, the MBA is for my career transformation, and ESSEC is like I did a lot of research, and I focus on the industry, the company I want to go, and all those functions where they attend, what kind of school they did, help them to reach the goal today.
Okay, that's an interesting insight. What about you, Stefan? Why an MBA? And then maybe give a little bit of what you did before, your MBA. So why an MBA and why ESSEC?
Yes, sure. So basically, for joining the program, I was based on Réunion Island in the Indian Ocean. So I was working as a marketing coordinator, and it's very cliche what I'm going to say, but it's true as well. I really wanted to challenge myself. I wanted to go out of my comfort zone, and I needed to move out of there. Basically, that was the answer. And I was looking for answers basically, and I think going back to school was one of them. And then so that was basically the starting point. And then when I was looking for these answers, of course, I knew that since I was a French-speaking candidate, Europe would be the best market for me. So I decided to look around and have feedback as well from people. And as Yushan mentioned, I looked at the top 3 schools here. And I think the real reason why I chose this program is because of the boutique size of it. Maybe I was a little afraid of the sizes of the other programs, but I wanted something human, I would say, and being surrounded by 50 people, I think was good enough for me. Maybe I was a little, that was my comfort zone maybe, and more than that, I would have lost a little bit of that human experience I wanted.
Yeah. Well, and that's one of the things that people experience as they come to the program, right? And as I've experienced different sizes of programs from the professor side, right? We're really are able to partner with you for your career versus getting lost. If you're lost within 750 some students, right? Then it's a numbers game at that point. We're here, we're beholden to partner with every single student to help you move forward in your career. That's a great point. So let's sort of start with you, Stefan, on the next question, and then we'll go to Yushan. So for you, you mentioned getting out of the comfort zone. So how did the Global MBA help you transform your career, or in a sense, get out of that comfort zone?
Well, it's actually a good question, because I am amongst those who actually achieved the three big shifts in my life. So I changed geography, I changed position, and I changed industry. So I think that's the short answer for me. Yeah.
Okay. Maybe then a little bit more personally, how do you feel it transformed you?
Well, definitely, I have to be honest. When I started the journey, I was one of the youngest. But then going out of the program, I think I've learned so many things in terms of maturity as well. You get out of the program with a more leadership oriented mind, I would say. Definitely.
Yeah. I love that point, right? This idea that when you come with a cohort that, the average age is 30, that doesn't mean everyone is 30 years old and is exactly the same 6 years experience, right? There's a range of experience, range of age, but also a wide range of industries, right? And the types of jobs. And so you're vicariously learning. And so you may be before your MBA, then you had 3-4 years experience.
Yes, correct.
Okay. Where in a sense, not technically, but maybe metaphorically, you leave an MBA with 10, 12 years of experience because you've acquired these vicarious learnings of others in your cohort, right? That's a neat idea. Yushan, what about for you? How did the Global MBA help you transform your career?
It helped me to find my job today. So that's a really big transformation. And I stay in the same industry, but change my function. And I'm really happy ESSEC nourish what I need for my job today, because it's not easy to working in a brand side to know all the know-how behind the specific vocabulary in the business sense. And that's what I didn't have it before. And during ESSEC, it's not only the program itself, it's like Stefan say, it's the cohort, people who are in experience, who even run their business, has their own brand, who are able to share all those insight and know-how. And that is really did a big help. And those networking we are keeping till today, try to connect to each other. And that is also transform my personal life today.
Right. Yeah. That cohort becomes a group of friends that stays, throughout your career, throughout your life. So how often do you communicate with folks from your cohort?
Within the close group, we are really often meeting each other at least once per month. And with Stefan, we always say we need to have a drink, but he's super busy.
Stefan transformed too much, so he's always busy. Okay, well, that's wonderful. So let's do that. So let's go to the third question, Yushan, with you starting. So what's a key memory or two from your GMBA journey, from your Global MBA journey?
I really enjoy a lot when we have the networking or the special occasion to talk with alumni or people from industry, sometimes even the CEO. So I remember it's a really strong to me was one field trip in Italy. So we met the CEO of the Versace. That moment was Jonathan Akerroyd, and now he's the Burberry CEO. So that moment he was talking about how he helped Versace from a brand people ignore and to engage with younger consumer. What's his strategy, his story behind? And today we are seeing he's doing the same for Burberry to make this British brand become the modern luxury brand. And at that moment, you feel you are overseeing something in the history. You are listening to the success CEO to make this the project again to help another brand. And that for me is I will never forget, and I feel it's a really great experience.
Oh, very cool. Very cool. Stefan, how about you? A key memory from your Global MBA journey?
Yes, for me, it was a very intense year for me, and I actually lived one of my dreams, which was living in Singapore. So definitely having the opportunity to travel there and live there as a student was definitely a memorable thing. But I mean, regarding the program itself, I would say that the digital week was very intense as well. I will remember that for the rest of my life, with nights of working with the team and arguing on our project. But at least we won. So I'm proud to say it out loud. So we were working for a very famous luxury brand that you all know, and it was a very good experience working with the team.
Yeah. And Stefan, you sort of highlighted something that we didn't highlight about the program before, sort of what we would put under our leadership development process, right? So we have several signature experiences that everyone goes through in the program. So at the very beginning, we have what we would call induction. We're calling a collaboration challenge week, where we bring everyone together. We assign them into teams where they're going to be in these teams throughout the core courses throughout the first part of the MBA program. Then we switch the core teams for the second part. But these are folks coming from all over the world, coming together and having to work very quickly together on team building activities. Then we have a sustainability project that we go throughout the first part of the program in the fall, from September, starting in Collaboration Challenge Week through December. This year, the cohort is all working for a corporation that's a not-for-profit corporation from Chamonix in France, and dealing with some of the very intricate sustainability issues that they face from a business standpoint and from just an environmental standpoint. How to have responsible tourism in an area of the world that is losing their main resource, which is snow, because of global warming. And how to help do that responsibly, how to help the tourism in that area be responsible. Then as we move into T2, it's the digital collaboration challenge, right? Where they're working on a digital problem from across different industries. Everyone's working on it together in different teams, friendly competing, I would say, with each other. And then finally, the leadership challenge of going off to do an internship or global field project, et cetera. So throughout these different experiences, we have intertwining experiences from the core courses, the leadership development, and career learning labs. Okay, so as we think about these questions, and maybe some of you are going, okay, wonderful. Well, okay, then what do I do now? I'd love to sort of experience what ESSEC has to offer. What do I do? So I'm going to give the time over to Valerie to talk about that.
Yeah, I'm sure many of you are very excited to know how you can apply. This is how you join ESSEC. So we divide the application process roughly into 4 easy steps. The first step is when you get in touch with someone like me, a recruitment manager. There are different recruitment managers for the different zones in the world. So I'm the recruitment manager for Africa and the Americas. In India, for example, there's Meenakshi. In Europe, there is Nibal, and so forth and so on. All of the information is on the website, and it's quite easy for you to access and get in touch with us. We want to hear from you. So this is where you would find out, this is where we'll discuss the requirements, whether you meet the requirements of the program. And before I delve further into the requirements of the program, I just want to emphasize the point that we look at a candidate in whole, like we look at everything about the candidate. It's not just about the GMAT. It's not just about your working experience or your age. It's all of you. All of you is quite important. Having said this, the requirements are that you must have at least a 4 years bachelor's degree. However, if you have a 3 years bachelor's degrees, because I know that some countries have got 3-year bachelor's degrees, you would have to go through a separate process called the VAB process. Get in touch with a recruiter who is going to explain that to you in further. So if you have a 3-year bachelor's degree, do not count yourself out. You can still go through this process. So you need a bachelor's degree, as I explained, and some international experience. International experience can be working abroad in another country. It can also involve managing projects in other countries. It can also involve working with teams in other countries. You need to be at least 25 years of age. you need to have at least 3 years of professional experience. And these 3 years of professional experience do not include internships or graduate programs. So 3 years of experience after your internship. You need to have a competitive GMAT or GR score. We didn't mention here, but we also accept the Tajmaj. The Tajmaj is for our French-speaking candidates. So it's GMAT, GRE, or the Tajmaj. And of course, you need to have an advanced English level because the course is taught entirely in English. Okay, so after you've spoken to a recruiter and you find that you meet the requirements and it's great, you would then start to complete your online application. The process is quite easy. There are some essays you would have to write. It's stuff you know about yourself and it's all there on the application form. You can always reach out to your recruiter to help you. And then after you're done with that process, you submit your online application and then you would have your interview. It's quite quick, right? The next deadline is in November. The next deadline for the applications, it's November 27th. And just a reminder, it also is the last date of the early bird scholarship. The early bird scholarship, which gives €8,000. However, if you apply in January and in February, you will get the winter early bird, which is €5,000. So just keep that in mind. The application fees are €130 and the course fees are €50,000. I know some of you are asking about scholarships. What types of scholarships can you get? I just want to let you know that you do not have to apply for the scholarships. So of course, as you're speaking to your recruiter will know what type of financial need you are in, and you will have this discussion with your recruiter. And of course, your profile will also speak to which scholarships you can qualify for. So then after your application has been assessed, after you've had your interview, there is a scholarship committee which sits and reviews which scholarships you would get. So people get quite a number of scholarships mixed and matched to their profile. And it's quite competitive. So get in touch with the recruiter and we can discuss that more. So now I've explained the application and admissions process. Let's take it one step further and go into your questions. I'm sure you have a lot of questions to ask. Please do not hesitate to just pop them. We just want to know. And the first question is for you, David.
Okay.
It goes as follows. Hi, team. Does ESSEC have an in-house test as a substitute to the GMAT? Yes, that's for you.
Okay. So we do not have an in-house test. So what we found is that, you know, we let those that do that type of testing and are experts in doing that to do that, and we'll stay on our side of the lane. And so we use the GMAT, as mentioned, the GRE or the Tajmaj as the test, and we don't have an internal test. For us, it's to keep things as fair as possible and have a level playing field across the applicants.
Thank you, David. And that ties into another question. There was a question that was sent to me privately where a candidate said they've got 5 years of managerial experience, they got a good GPA, and you know they're quite smart. Can they get a GMAT waiver? And the answer is, David?
Okay. So the very, very limited, there's a possibility of a waiver. You know, part of the process as we think about preparing for a global MBA or for an MBA, especially this time of the year, there's plenty of rounds of application. And this is advice for, you know, for schools to make yourself as competitive as possible, taking the GMAT as possible. We do not give a waiver, meaning that you don't have to take the GMAT. In a very, very limited fashion, there may be people that you commit to take the GMAT before a certain time period, and there's admission provided, okay, before you take the GMAT. But there's not a waiver in the sense that you would not have to take the GMAT at all.
Okay, yeah. Thank you. And let me just wrap it up with the GMAT questions in one go. Is there a preference between the current GMAT versus the GMAT Focus Edition? I will answer this. And
There's
David,
no preference. You know, what GMAT has done is they're, of course, I think starting January of 2024, I think is the date. There's some date where the previous GMAT isn't taken anymore. But of course, the scores are good for 5 years. GMAT has done GMAC, as the company that does GMAT, has done very good at providing a score translator. So whether you take the Focus Edition or whether you take the traditional GMAT, both scores are valid. There's no preference for them. We have a way, we know what the score means. So you're fine either way, whatever you're more comfortable with between those two versions.
Okay. Wow, guys, thank you so much for these questions. It actually shows the excitement everybody has. And this is the very last GMAT, and then we'll move on to the other questions, because there are other questions that are targeted towards Yushuan and some that are targeted towards Stefan. But keep sending your questions in. This question says, can I know what is the average GRE and GMAT score? So the GRE scores to make the playing field level are converted into GMAT. So we are going to answer from a GMAT perspective. The average varies from year to year. And I can tell you last year's average for the GMAT was 625. However, having said that, as I said before, we do not just look at your GMAT. There are a lot of factors that we look at. And it's not just about the highest GMAT score that a candidate gets. There are a lot of other factors. So I hope that answers the question well. And Stefan, this question is for you. The question says, what are the benefits of studying in France? How did it help your career after the MBA?
Yes, okay. Actually, it's a very good question. Probably for those who are targeting France as a country where they want to work, I would say that having experience already here in France is a great competitive advantage. Knowing the markets, knowing the brands, knowing the companies is definitely arguments that you can bluff during your interviews as well. So I think having that experience definitely helps. I don't know if that answers the question, Valerie.
Yeah, I think it does, because it's your personal perspective. Yushuan, you can actually answer. How do you believe that the MBA has helped you enter the French job market?
Yeah,
Well, for
because
me, I think it's really about the networking, sorry, Yushin, that you
no,
get
don't
during
worry.
the program. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry, I cut you off.
No, you can finish first and I come from after. It's
I
okay?
think that's really it, yes.
Okay, so for me, because I target to luxury and beauty industry, so I know in France it's a really pioneer market for those brands and the function I'm looking for. So that's why I think a business school in French to know more the French market, build a network was essential. It was really much added.
Okay. So it was more about helping you enter the job market, giving you the contacts you need actually to enter the job market, right? That's how I understood you guys. Okay, perfect. I think that's a very good reason to do the MBA. It opens up a whole new world for you that you didn't even know existed. And that's what I found personally during the MBA. All right, and then there is a question here. This one is directed towards me. Hi, I'm currently living in Europe. However, I'm from Asia, Taiwan specifically. I would like to know which recruiter I should approach. You should approach Nibal because it's based on where you reside. However, I'm going to reach out to you personally and we can follow through with that conversation. Okay, and then there's another question here that says, can I do the course online or partly online? The
I'll
Global
take that one.
MBA
I'll
will
take
be
that
answered
one.
by David.
Yeah. So it is a full in-person, intense experience that you'll do as an MBA. So I was actually looking at some reports by GMAC this morning. This is and GMAT runs the GMAT, but they do lots of industry surveys and looking at application trends and so forth. And so there's many formats of an MBA. For a full-time MBA where you're taking time off from your career and doing a single, double, or triple jump, our philosophy, our take is that you need the in-person, face-to-face, co-located experience with your cohort to then have the global reach.
Perfect. And then there's another one here. It says, is there any knowledge that you wish, this is for you, Yushan and Stefan, is there any knowledge that you wish you had before the MBA program that would have helped you to become a better participant? Interesting question. Yushan, do you want to go first?
Well, this one is a interesting question, but I'm thinking what would like really hope I have before I join MBA. I think because I was really focusing on what I was doing before, and I really hope I can really go to really expand my interest and my, at least to overview the different market, what different industry is doing. Because during this year, a lot of people, even like a strategy, luxury, we all count different industry background. And it's really, the program is really impact, it's an all-day program, it's really fast. So if I have some background check, I have some basic knowledge, I can know what people are sharing, what they are talking about their industry. And that's because, and after I need to do some work to know more, to have the conversation. So I think that's, I would say, I hope I can not only focus on what I was doing, but really enlarge my interest in different sector.
Okay, thank you. And you, Stefan?
Well, actually, it's I agree. It is a very interesting question, and I will try to wave it a little bit. I would say that when you decide to go on such a journey as taking an MBA, you can go there as you are, because it's a learning journey, and I think it's okay to not know everything at the beginning. I do believe there is some sort of a program to align before the starting of the MBA, so you will have some sort of modules to take before the first day. So I think it's a learning journey. So you can come with your knowledge, with your expertise in your own industry, and you will learn from other experiences and share your experiences as well. So I'm waving the question.
No, I think both of you answered it perfectly, and really just to build on that, we have a thing called starting blocks. So to level the playing field, some of you will come from, let's say, a heavy quantitative background. Some will come from a heavy qualitative background. Not to oversimplify, but you think those are sort of the two main skill sets. And you'll take part of MOOCs, so it's through Coursera, and to be able to level set and have a foundation already in some of those basic accounting, finance, marketing, etc., so that as we come in, everyone is somewhat level set, and you can build on your experience much more efficiently and effectively than completely coming as you are, which we want you to do, but then we're giving you that starting point to level set the whole cohort together.
Thank you. And there's a question, how important is French for the global MBA, and how important is it for finding a job afterwards? David, you want to take this on?
Sure. And then I'd love to hear from Yushan and Stefan, right?
Absolutely.
So French to be accepted and admitted into the program, no, this is a 100% English program. ESSEC is French Roots Global Reach. So the idea is, our hope is that you're working anywhere in the world that you would want to and be able to. Outside of France, obviously, many of the organizations, English is a working language. That said, within France, if your goal is to be within France, your opportunities obviously open up much more if you have learned French to a point where you're proficient. But maybe I'd be interested, as Yushan, you sort of have that experience of having taken French some, but working in a company that's sort of bilingual in a way. Maybe we can talk about that a little bit to continue to answer the question, and then Stefan, get your opinion.
Yeah, from what I see, I would say it's an added point, but it's not a mandatory. Because France, especially in Paris, if you are looking for a position in Paris, is a really a global market, global headquarter based here. So we, like in my daily job, I talk half in English, half time English, and French is most of the time I use for the daily good morning conversations to build a relationship. And so that I don't think French is a really a big challenge for looking for a job here.
Stefan, what do you think?
Well, definitely, I would agree with what Eugene mentioned, that Paris is definitely a global market. From experience, because since now I'm in the consulting industry, I've worked with several companies now, and I have noticed that most of the big companies would not require French as mandatory. Of course, it's an added value if you have that, but it's not mandatory for the big companies. Even on my side, I mean, on my current project, I would speak, I would say 100% in English, to be honest, even though I'm based in Paris, yes.
Is your client a French-based client, meaning French company, or is it international?
Yes, it is.
Interesting. So that's actually sort of a surprise to me, right? With my 2+ years experience here. So that's interesting. Something
But
to
it's a very
add.
international company, though.
Right. So everyone's from everywhere, right? So we do have, of course, courses that are designed for those that are very proactive to be able to learn French. But as in any language, it takes a lot of immersion and lots of effort. But we do have French courses.
Yeah. And to everyone who's watching, the world is becoming more globalized. A lot more people are speaking English, so you should not feel like you are excluded from not being able to speak French fluently. I, for example, did not speak French fluently, and I still made it in Paris. So if I can do it, so can you. Moving on to the next question. Will the Global MBA course curriculum, the hours involved, allow me to work part-time to help fund some living expenses? David, take it away.
So to break the news to you, no. This is an intense but fun experience. And this will be, what we're doing is helping you accelerate your career in 12 months versus 2 years. And because of that, not that we've squeezed, I can't think of the right verb tense, 2 years into 12 months, but it is an intense and experience. So would not allow you with any level of success to complete the program, is my opinion. Yushan and Stefan, maybe to provide a little bit of context to that, if you would like.
I mean, I would agree it is a very intense program. So you will be spending most of your nights working and having team conversations, but it is fun. I would agree that you create good memories with your teammates and you learn a lot. So it's very intense. So I think intense is really the word to use in this situation.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you guys. Yeah, we've had quite an interesting bunch of questions. And then there's another one which
Valerie,
says,
sorry for interrupting. I would just say for that individual that's worried about the financing, I mean, something else to remember is there's for the part of the personalized approach is in the interviews, we are looking for what scholarships work great with this individual. How can we help this individual decrease that overall cost? And then talk with the people like Valerie as to the other financing options, the other options that are available to you to make this work. So just wanted to be encouraging in that way. So Valerie.
Yeah, all is not lost. There's a question here. Do we only have one intake in September? Yes, we only have the intake in September of every year. Moving on to the next one. If a candidate has a number of achievements throughout his or her career and a decent GMAT score, will he or she be penalized for having a low GPA? David?
No, I mean, I think Valerie captures it perfectly, is that we look at the whole picture, right? So we have a grid, we use that. So what happens with the grid is that allows for compensatory things. So I'll just be personal. If that was the case, I wouldn't have been able to do a master's degree and a PhD. I had some significant experience and good GMAT score, and my undergrad GPA was not great because of interest in music and other things. So we do look at the whole individual. Every case is different. So I can't say, I'm not saying yes to that particular individual, but as a process, it's a holistic approach. We look at the whole profile together.
Okay, yeah, absolutely, we do. And can I do this program as a mom? Of course you can do this program as a mom. We love moms. I did the program as a mom of two. Yeah, and there were other people in my program who were moms and dads, and they were able to complete the program. So absolutely, you can do it. You're welcome. There are some questions which are about the employment, which someone is asking, what is the ROI of this MBA? Someone is asking, what is the median salary post-MBA from ESSEC? And how many percentage of students get placed 3 months after completion of the course? Just to let you know, we have an employment report which was recently released. All that information is in the employment report. Nishant Oisal, I will be sending you that employment report, and I would love to discuss with you further these particular aspects of the employment post-MBA. Your questions are very valid. I don't know, David, excuse me, if there's anything you'd like to add before I take that conversation offline with these candidates.
I mean, I think ROI is a wonderful question, right? And we have to ask it because you're putting real money and real time into it. And once you see that the financial, let's say the financial or tangible ROI, you also want to think about the ROI for your own personal career journey. And that's where it gets to fit between you and the program. And so what we've tried to do at ESSEC Business School over many, many years, and what we're injecting, putting into this sort of reposition for strength program with our career learning labs and our concentrations, building on the great legacy of luxury digital leadership and so forth, is being able to provide you many options so that you can get your own customizable return on investment, if you will. Right, where you can think, I'm not just going to take what's given to me, I can actually be part of that ROI myself. I'm going to partner to be able to increase my return on my investment, both financially, but also for me as a growing as a leader, as a professional, as a manager, as an organizational leader.
Well answered. Okay, we're getting towards the end of this question and answer session. There's a question which goes, are there any specific skills that you have taken along after the program which have influenced you? Stefan, do you want to answer this one first? And then Yushan, it'll be you.
Just to clarify, so is the question about the skills that you get from the program that really
Yes.
So yeah, I mean for me it was a real shift in my career because I shifted to the consulting industry. And the consulting industry is very specific in terms of skill sets, and I think all the skill sets that are needed, I got them from the MBA. So definitely, I mean, it's going back to the basics, but it's a lot of technical skills, the knowledge of working on business cases, presentation skills, but also soft skills. It's all about negotiation, having some sort of a better posture, discussing with clients. So definitely all the skill sets that you would need in the consulting industry, I got them from the program.
Perfect. Yushan?
Yeah, I agree, like Stefan, a lot of different skills, especially the soft skill. You had 1 year with all international different profile, how you talk, how you appreciate different culture, and it apply for your daily job for me right now every day. And it's also for career side, for the job, daily job, I really how to the critical thinking, because before I was working as to face to the client, we say yes when the client asks, but now we are the brand side, why we want to launch this product, what's the reason behind, always asking why. And that is something, the skill I also start from the ESSEC program, always ask questions during the class, and that is really a important skill for me till today.
Wonderful. And this is one of the last questions. Will there be French classes on campus that we can take concurrently with the program, David?
Yeah. So as mentioned previously, yes, it's actually part of the courses. So during your fall, everyone's required that is non-French speaking. Obviously, if you speak French already, then you don't need to. But if you are, you'll take a pre-test and be placed into based on your level of French. And everyone's required to take a course during the fall, and then optionally in the spring, winter, spring, you can continue with your French classes that are offered by ESSEC. We actually have a department across all our programs because of the international students. We provide language training, not only in French, but other languages too. But with the MBA, it's on French.
Okay, and the very last question, which Yusan, Stefan, and you, David, can answer, and that maybe I can answer. Do you have a bit of fun during the program? A bit of fun. So I guess this person is asking from a work-life balance, because all work and no play, as you know, is not good for the soul. So Yusuan, Stefan, did you have time for fun?
For sure. We work hard, we play hard.
Stefan?
Definitely. And I would say that ESSEC is particularly attached to the culture of drinking champagne as well. So I would say that there were a lot of bottles of champagne throughout the year.
Yeah, absolutely. And David, I guess you can also talk about the beginning of the program.
So at the very beginning of the program, for example, this year we went to Chantilly, which so if you've ever had Chantilly cream, we go to the city where it was, let's say, originated. It's also the home of, sorry, there's a bunch of people beeping horns. I don't know if you can hear that, but where they, it's a royal horse stables, etc. So we go and we have our collaboration challenge week and some of the first courses in that environment in Chantilly. During that, you're learning about French culture, so it's French integration. You're learning how to play pétanque and do some of the cliche things, wearing berets and that type of fun stuff. But to add a story, this year's cohort, for example, I teach the Leading People in Organizations course in the first week, so it's a full course in 1 week. And they were finalizing their case study the following weekend. And they all told me, yeah, after we all finalized the case study, this individual case study, we all, like almost everyone in the cohort, met for a picnic in Paris to sort of blow off steam and to enjoy with each other. So you become friends with the whole cohort. Given that it's only 40, 50 participants, you really do become friends with everyone. You have small groups, but then everyone is a family in a sense. So there's lots of those types of experiences.
Perfect. I just want to thank you, panelists, for answering these questions brilliantly. I really hope to everybody watching that they were able to get answers to the questions. If you were not able to get the answers to your question, David, if you can just put the next slide.
Of course.
If you're not able to get, if you're not able to ask your questions or not able to get the answer, please reach out. You can send an email to the global-mba@essec.edu. You can go to our website and there's a QR code that's displayed on the screen. You can also scan that. You can also reach out to Yushuan and Stefan and myself or David via LinkedIn. There are so many ways of getting in touch. We often have events on campus. You're always welcome to join. Reach out. We really want to hear from you. Thank you so much for joining us today, and we hope to see you soon on campus. Have a lovely day.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.